Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with a brand new episode in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Liza P, and this is actually going to be the last and final episode, and that is number 11. So in this episode, what we're going to do, and I'm going to talk about, is how to get all of the endings and clean up the remaining trophies. So as of now, the remaining trophies you have is for one final boss. You have 3 endings that you'll have to get. Now, you can either go into New Game Plus with all of your new gear and stuff, or you can start a brand new save. It is really up to you. Now, what we're going to be also going over in those is that the saves and, well, the endings are tied to your choices throughout the game. So you have basically 2 options to choose from for the ending. You have the accept ending, and then you have the reject ending. So the accept ending is giving your heart, and then the rejection is where you say no. Now, the 2 other endings on the rejection side are based on how human you have become. So, during this playthrough, we've pretty much fully become a human. So, whenever we reject, we'll get the truest ending of the game. Now, the other one, what you can do is you can go through and just either tell the truth or just not try and do anything that would get you to lie as much. Pretty much, really whatever you think is going to help you, just not become a human. And then, and then you're still going to say no. And then that will get you a different ending, in a sense. It does sound a little complicated, but it's kind of straightforward. Basically, how you can cut it down to is you accept Geppetto's offer, you refuse Geppetto's offer, but you're still pretty much not human. And then the third one, which we are going for right now, is you refuse Geppetto's offer and you're as human as possible. So, like, whenever you listen to records or something, it says that your heart is pounding, which is proof that you have become human. Now, if you don't reach that stage, so like you still say the springs are reacting or you feel warmth by the end of the game, then you're good and you're not going to get this ending again. Now, the last couple of things to talk about is going to be after you beat this boss and before heading into New Game Plus. Now, there will be a menu that will pop up asking you if you want to go into New Game Plus. Simply just say no and it will kick you back to the hotel. I will show you after the fight, of course, and everything, but for the sake of it, just say no, as there's 2 trophies you can miss out on completely by accidentally going into New Game Plus after beating this boss, or if you accept Geppetto's offer. But I'll go into that in due time, don't worry. So, for this next fight, I highly recommend having the grindstone that will allow you to perfect parry when blocking, the perfection grindstone. Then also the acid abrasive is also really good. And then whatever weapon you think is best for you. Now, this one you're going to want to actually have, I believe, the puppet instead of the murderer equipped. I have the Hunter Amulet just because increases, ergo, I have the physical damage reduction, and then I have the Red Fox Amulet to increase motivity and technique. This is just minor damage increases. I am rocking a fully upgraded Ouroboros Eye. Like I said, if you don't like the Ouroboros Eye, you can use whatever weapon you want in the game, normal or not. Now, another one you probably might also want to try out is the Electric Blitz Abrasive, since he is a puppet. Like always, though, I'm going to go in and show you guys all of the cutscenes and how to do this fight. Now, this fight is probably the toughest because you won't have a Spectre, so it's all on you, and it is pretty tough. He does have some pretty punishing windows, but I believe in you guys. If I can do it, you can do it, and I'm going to show you how.
I knew you could do it. I dreamed of this day for so long. You can be human again. By using that I just need the final ingredient. If you give me your heart. You have been a brilliant and a good boy. Give me your heart, son.
Like I said, basically this is what you do for choosing your endings, and we are going to simply say no.
I believed you were a good boy. Well, I suppose Carlo was. But a father always looks after his children. In my own way, I grew to love you. I'm disappointed in you. I didn't mean for this to happen. I believed you were a good boy. If you refuse, then I'll have to retrieve it myself. My son. You can become
Alright,
real.
so now we have the nameless puppet.
Come to me, my son.
Now this fight is probably going to be the one that will have you guys trying to get your perfect blocks in the most.
Never bound you to a grand covenant like the other puppets because of Carlo's memories within you. I knew you'd gone astray. Troublesome little puppet.
As you'll see, it's definitely a combo battle. Alright, now in Phase 2, I highly recommend immediately putting on your perfect guard. As you'll see, he has way more combos now. Stamina management is probably going to be the best thing for you during this fight. Now, if you do get to stagger him, immediately back away and buff. But just like that, he'll go down.
Were you going to destroy Carlos' heart? Sorry.
It's so good to see you.
Alright, so afterwards you should get the Rise of P and the first puppet trophy. Now as you'll see right here, have another cutscene of course.
I think we have a new brother. A new type of humanity, so to speak.
There are many forms of eternal life.
It's intriguing and worth further observation.
Noted. And we'll have to get his arm back anyway.
I'm counting on it. Expect another report at the next meeting. Paracelsus returning. Ah, and when I return, I will find her. For sure. Another key of ours. Dorothy.
Alright, so as you can see here, this is your warning sign. So all you're going to want to do is simply just say no to this and cancel. Now, as you guys can see, we're back at the Hotel Krat. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come back and see Hugo, who should be dressed as Alidoro now, as you'll see here.
Oh, did I scare? It's me. I will also a great weapon.
So now we're going to purchase our last boss weapon, the Proof of Humanity with the Nameless Puppet's Ergo. Upon doing so, that should get you the special weapon collector, as we now have all 11 special weapons. And then from here, we're not quite done yet. If we actually come back over to the piano, as you'll see, it should be glowing gold. Upon doing so, you will begin to play. Upon doing so, you will then get the Pianist of Krat trophy. And then the last trophy that we can earn right now is going to be heading up to Geppetto's room. We'll find a note on the desk. Now, this note can be one of two people depending on what ending you go for. Since we went for the Rise of P ending, it should be a note from Sophia. As you'll see right here, the Blue Butterfly's letter. Upon reading it, we'll then get the trophy for Sophia's story. And that is the story of the Blue Butterfly trophy. Now, from here, like I said, all that's left to do is clean up. So as of now, you should have all your weapons. You should have a normal weapon fully upgraded and a special weapon fully upgraded of your choice. That will be 2 trophies right there. You should have all of the normal and special weapons. That's 2 trophies right there. So like I said, all that's left is going and getting the other 2 endings of the game. You'll have to refuse Geppetto one more time and not be human in order to get that. And then the other one is to accept Geppetto's offer. So there's that. Now, we're not quite done, as we also have to finish and do Eugenie's story and actually tell her the truth. So what you can do is go into New Game Plus, as you're already going to have to go into New Game Plus to get the remaining 5 or 6 records. Because as you'll see, you should only be missing 6 now. Because there's 1, and then the last 5 are down here. The last 5 are solely bought from merchants, so don't worry about that. The downside is the last one you'll have to beat, or you'll have to get, is after beating Luxasia, which is probably quite a chore on New Game Plus, but it's something you'll have to do, and I will show you guys where to get those records, so don't worry about that. But, like I said, then the last record you'll have to get is for doing Eugenie's story, which will also get you a trophy. Like I said, in this playthrough, we lied to her about her brother Alidoro, and told her that he was just a imposter. So what you're going to have to do is go back through and tell her the truth, pretty much. And that will get you the other record, and will get you the trophy for completing Eugenie. Now, the last and final person who we have a trophy tied to is Geppetto. Now, you'll have to do this by accepting Geppetto's offer and basically getting the bad ending of the game. Then you'll go back upstairs and you'll find his letter. So that's probably going to be the last one I go for, and we're going to go into New Game Plus, as, you know, we have nothing else that we can really do.
You have been so
Now, one thing I highly recommend before going into New Game Plus is, of course, coming over, buying absolutely everything from Pulcinella, just because you want to just get rid of it, and make sure that you have them. As you can see, I'm pretty much broke now. So I'm going to use a couple of these. I think that was enough. No, 1700. Okay. But yes, so as you guys will see, I'll show you guys exactly all of that stuff. And then also another thing is make sure you buy everything from Paul and Dina as well. Just trying to clear up everything that you can. You know, make sure you don't have anything that you are worried about. So, another thing before heading into New Game Plus is you're going to want to re-explore and re-grab everything. You can you can get more quartz, you can get more Legion calibers, you know. The Legion plugs are basically pointless, as you should have everything crafted by now. If you didn't and you accidentally missed a Legion plug, going into New Game Plus will allow you to get that, so to speak. But like I said, when you go into New Game Plus as well, you'll unlock a 6th and 7th P organ slot, which is pretty cool. And you can also fill all of these out if you want, just to be even better. But yeah, so now I'm going to show you guys where you can find the records and complete everything else in New Game Plus that we can. So the first golden record that you can find in New Game Plus is just before the Parade Master boss, right here at this merchant. The first merchant in the game. As you can see right here, you'll get the golden version. So now we're going to move on to the next one. Alright, so the second golden record you can obtain is found in the house on Elysian Boulevard when heading to fight the Mad Donkey and the Scrapped Watchman. As you'll see right here, you can find the record for 3,000. Now I'm a little broke, so I'm going to have to spend some ergo to obtain it. Just like so. Now moving on to the third one will be all the way in Lorenzini Arcade. Now one thing I will mention that you're going to want to be doing all along this playthrough is also doing Eugenie's questline again. So that means anytime you talk with her or have a chance to interact with Alidoro, you'll want to do so. You don't have to specifically lie to Alidoro the first couple times you see him, like you do during your first playthrough when you're telling the lies. This one, though, I will point out when and where and what to do in order to fully do those quest lines, so don't worry about that. It will basically become later on. So there is that. Alright, once here in the Lorenzini Arcade, as you'll see, where you can find the merchant right here, he will sell us the third gold record, just like so. Now we're almost to the point where we're going to be picking up and doing the questline for Eugenie and Alidoro, which will be in the Barren Swamp, is where it'll mainly take place. So I'll see you guys once we are there. So once you guys have made it to the Barren Swamp, you're going to want to start Eugenie's quest. You're going to want to go grab the glove from her, and then you're going to want to go and give it to Alidoro, who is found just on the other side when you unlock the shortcut. And then you're going to want to head back, and then I guess it's best to lie to Eugenie. That way you can then continue the quest line. And then you're also going to want to go and talk to Hugo just before the green monster devouring puppet boss fight, which I will show you guys now. How to all the steps like that. So going back, talking to Eugenie, getting the glove.
Will you? For one, I'd give it to he'll understand.
And there we go, we get the 4-fingered glove. Now we can head back to the swamp and give it to Alidoro.
But there are limits.
Now then, once you find Alidoro, you're going to want to give him the glove.
You're a worthy.
What's this? Anyway,
He'll be disappointed in it, of course. Now from here I'm also going to spend my remaining boss souls to get their amulets. Now we can head back and talk to Eugenie and lie to her. Like always, once back at the hotel, you're going to come and talk to Eugenie.
Hey, did the glove?
And you're going to lie and say that he was happy.
Really? Gloves? We could have. I will never. Thanks.
Now the next thing you're going to do while you're at the swamp is you're going to want to find Hugo before you go and fight the boss and talk to him and get the wanted poster from him specifically. So I'm going to skip to that now. Now once you guys have made it to the Stargazer right here, just before the green puppet devouring monster, if you come over here and talk to Hugo,
You wouldn't have. I plan my.
you can basically discover more about Alidoro.
And profession. That's. I know the.
You'll get the wanted poster.
That's. I know the. The room. Alidoro. Those out. I mean, come.
Then what you're also going to want to do is also talk to him about his discovered treasure, just to exhaust all of his dialogue. Then after you defeat the puppet, the next boss, I'm just going to avoid saying the long name, you'll then talk to Alidoro, and then we'll actually head back to the hotel and talk to him there. After the boss fight, you're going to come back to the hotel and talk to Alidoro.
I found let the punish a great weapon.
Now you can talk to him about the wanted poster and further the questline.
A great weapon.
Because I'm also going to be getting as much as I can here. And now we're going to be moving on to the next area, and that is also going to have our next golden record. So we should only have 3 records left, as you should see. We'll have the one for doing Eugenie's questline, and then we have the last 2 right here. So we're almost there, guys. Almost there, almost done. So the next 4th gold record you can find is going to be inside the rundown building here, in the collapsed crowd, and you'll find the wandering merchant right here, and he will sell it for 9,000. So now we can move on to pretty much finishing up Eugenie's questline, which will be after making it back to the hotel and taking on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. So I'm going to be skipping those 2 bosses, that way we can make it all the way to afterwards and confronting Alidoro. Now after you've taken down the Black Rabbit Brotherhood for the 2nd time, you're going to have to make your way back to where Alidoro is. My English is just not functioning right today. But you'll make your way around and you'll find him here.
Just don't kill me. Oh, you're here looking for. Took the sun. There should be another.
Now, what you basically want to do is attack him
I know that limit, sir.
and then attack again. If you happen to leave or anything like that, then you're never going to be able to kill him again. And you'll have to go into a new game again just to get the record. So now what we're going to do to get the record is head back to Hotel Krat, have Vanini decrypt the vessel, and then tell Eugenie the truth, and that will get our next trophy and a record. Now once we are here, we can have Vanini not decrypt that one, but decrypt the other one. Then we can choose to read it here in the messages. And you'll see that it says that Eugenie was Alidoro's sister. So now we can come and talk to her.
I don't know. Honestly, I wonder what.
And we will have to tell her the truth.
What? This letter sounds like it sounds foolhardy to jump to conclusions. You're here.
Now, don't
You are
worry,
here.
after a bit of time, you will be able to come back and talk to her, and then you will complete her quest line. So, I'm going to fast forward to when we do that.
I did some sleuthing. My older brother's mark is part of the decryption. I have no choice but to believe it's real. Why did my brother leave? This was precious, and now I'm giving it to you.
And there you go. As you'll see, you can just go and rest at our Stargazer and come back and talk to her, and you'll get the record, and then you'll get the trophy, The Story of a Stranger Girl. Now we can move on and be almost done with this Platinum Trophy Guide. Next we have one more record to obtain, and I'll show you how to get it. Alright, so now in order to get the last record, here in the Lower Arch Abbey, as you probably remember, this is to find the NPC experiment down below. It's when you drop down to the area and the big muscular guy breaks through the wall to try and ambush you. Coming down here is where you'll find him. Now, you can't just immediately come talk to him and get the record, of course. You will have to complete the next boss and then find him on Rosa Isabella Street. As you can see, here he is.
I'm not...
Test subject
Thanks.
826.
I can't...
So now what you're going to have to do is beat the next boss, which is Luxasia, and then we're going to find him at Rosa Isabella Street. So I'll see you once we are there. So now to get the last golden record, after opening the door for this guy so he can escape, you will find him here on Rosa Isabella Street.
Nice to see you. I never want to take it. It's a new nice loot.
And as you'll see, the last record right there. So now in order to get the trophy, all you have to do is head back to the hotel and listen to all of them and make sure they don't have their record covers, signifying that they haven't been listened to. But now we can move on to the last things that we have to do, and that is the last two endings of the game, as well as getting the last story related to a character arc, and that is for going for the bad ending of the game and accepting Geppetto's offer and giving him our heart. So now once you guys have made it past Manus and are back here at the choice for Geppetto, what I'm going to do for my second playthrough is accept his offer and get the bad ending. Now, like I said before, what you want to do before heading into the next game cycle or New Game Plus Plus, you're going to want to go back to the hotel and head up to his room, and you will find a letter. Now, once you pick up that letter, same to Lady Antonia and same with Sophia, that will then complete their story, and that will get you that trophy. So, if you also haven't listened to the records, that is the perfect time to do so. And then if you want to farm or do whatever cleanup you want to before heading into New Game Plus Plus, or if you want to start a brand new save to get that last ending, then by all means do whatever is comfortable for you. Now, talking about the last ending, like I've mentioned before, to get it, you have to refuse Geppetto, but you have to basically lie as little as possible and tell the truth and try and stay as close to a puppet as you can, and then you'll get a slightly different ending. And that will get you the last trophy that you'll probably have to have by the end of this. Now, I'm going to let the final or the bad ending play and let that be the end of this episode. This one is probably pretty long, and I will probably leave a synopsis in the description for what this video details. That way you guys know exactly what this video is, or the descriptions of it. I know it's a little scattered and all that, but as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. I do hope these videos and guides are helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, and as always, I will see you all in the next Platinum Trophy Guide.
Yes. You are a good boy till the very end. I believed in you. You are the greatest puppet I ever made. We can be happy now, thanks to you. Thank you. You are such a
truly the future you wanted?